The old king rose from his throne so quickly that the royal court fell silent. For more than 20 years, he had lived with one unbearable pain, the disappearance of his only son. The prince had vanished as a little boy during an attack on the royal convoy. Despite countless searches across villages and kingdoms, no trace of him had ever been found. Many believed the young prince was dead, but the king had never accepted that. Now, after all these years, a single piece of news had awakened the hope he thought he had lost forever. The elderly servant knelt before the throne. "Your Majesty," he said, "I cannot say for a certain that the young man is the prince, but I saw him with my two eyes. Around his neck hangs a necklace bearing the royal seal. It is unlike anything an ordinary man would possess." The king's eyes filled with emotions. "The necklace," he whispered. He remembered placing it around his son's neck on the day of his fifth birthday. It had been made specially for the prince. There was only one like it in the entire kingdom. Without wasting another moment, the king turned to his commander. "Gather the royal guards immediately. We leave for Umago at first light." Meanwhile, life in Umago continued as usual. Chinedu and Ada had begun making simple plans for their wedding. They had no riches, no large family to celebrate with them, no expensive gifts, but they had each other, and to them that was enough. One afternoon, while they were walking together on Ada's small farm, the peaceful sound of birds was suddenly interrupted by the thunder of galloping horses. The ground shook beneath their feet. Villagers rushed out of their homes. Children ran towards the village entrance. What is happening? Who is coming? Within moments, dozens of royal guards rode into the village, dressed in shiny armor with the kingdom's flag flying proudly behind them. No one in Umago had ever seen such a sight. Fear spread through the crowd. The guards stopped in the center of the village. Their commander stepped forward and spoke with a powerful voice. "We are looking for a young man named Chinedu." The villagers gasped. Some immediately assumed the worst. What has he done? Has he committed a crime? Are they here to arrest him? Even Ada's heart began to race. Chinedu calmly stepped forward. "I am Chinedu." The commander carefully looked at his face before his eyes settled on the necklace around his neck. His breathing became unsteady. Slowly, he stepped closer. "Where did you get this necklace?" he asked. Chinedu touched it gently. "It belongs to the man who raised me. He told me I was found alone in the forest when I was a small boy. This necklace was hanging around my neck." The commander's eyes widened. His hands trembled. "May I see it?" Chinedu removed the necklace and handed it to him. The commander examined the royal seal engraved into the gold. There was no doubt this was the prince's necklace, but he needed one final confirmation. "Young man," he said, "do you have a birthmark shaped like a crescent moon on your right shoulder?" Chinedu looked surprised. Yes, the commander could barely contain his emotion. He immediately knelt before him. The other royal guards followed, one after the other. They dropped to one knee. The entire village stood frozen. The commander lowered his head. "Your Royal Highness, we have searched for you for over 20 years. You are the lost son of our king." A heavy silence covered the village. The word echoed through everyone's mind. The lost prince. The stranger they had mocked. The man they had threatened. The man they had tried to drive away was the heir to the throne. The villagers looked at one another in complete disbelief. The elders who had repeatedly insulted Chinedu felt their leg weakened. Some could no longer stand. Ada stood speechless. She searched Chinedu's face, wondering if this was all a dream. Chinedu himself could hardly believe what he was hearing. "I, a prince?" he asked quietly. The commander smiled. "No, Your Highness, you are not just a prince. You are the future king of this kingdom." At that very moment, another royal carriage entered the village. The horse came to a stop. The carriage door slowly opened. An elderly man stepped out, wearing magnificent royal robes. His eyes searched desperately through the crowd. Then they rested on Chinedu. Tears instantly filled his eyes. "My son." For a moment, neither of them moved. Then the king rushed forward and embraced Chinedu with all the strength he had left. After more than 20 years of searching, a father had finally found his son, and the entire village watched in stunned silence as destiny revealed the truth they had never imagined. But But an even greater surprise was still waiting for them. The king had not only come to claim his son, he had also come to meet the woman his son had chosen to marry. Subscribe for part 2.